have I got some news for you. You're weird, you're weird, you're weird, and back there, you're weird too. We're all weird, and being weird is wonderful. And I invite each and every one of you to join me on a journey where we begin to embrace those perceived imperfections, remove that self-doubt so you can own your weird, because being weird is wonderful. Children are being bullied in school and online now more than ever. Adults are being bullied online and at work, and it needs to stop. Friends, what we need to do is be the example for our young people. And to do that, we need to learn to accept ourselves for the weird and wonderful people that we are. Now, I was inspired to do this talk based on my work with teens and adults who are trying to find their voice. As someone who was bullied in grade school, it took me until my adult years for me to find my voice and to be confident. Let's work together to change this for ourselves and for our young people. When you're thinking about what you're doing in life, I want you to think about not what you can do better, but just how you can be you. Now, when I was growing up, I was what you would say very weird. And I say that because in grade school, I was bullied. And because the young girls kept telling me I was weird, I thought it must be true. Now, I know this today, that the fact was I was just really nerdy before being nerdy was actually cool. But back then, I let that set the table or set the tone for what was going to happen in my adult years and in most recent years. I let my bullies and my fear define who I was. Now, one thing I can tell you is that when you're thinking about confidence, you think about how that affects you and how that affects other people. Now, confidence, according to the dictionary, is a feeling or consciousness of one's powers. Did you hear that? Powers. Superpowers. Holy happiness, Batman. Human beings do have superpowers. You see, the problem, ladies and gentlemen, though, it starts in here with our self-doubt, outside influences from others. For some, what I like to call the perfection infection. You know that feeling that you should have did something better than you just did, and the next time it's going to have to be even better? Add to that outside adversaries and influences. We have so many worries and so many things going on nowadays that we lose that feeling of confidence. Now, Own Your Weird is about accepting yourself for the weird and wonderful, imperfect person that you are and navigating life to be the person that you're meant to be. One thing I can tell you is that if you're the person who likes to put pink flamingos on your lawn at Christmas time, who cares? Maybe you're the person that likes tuna fish and jelly sandwiches, and I do know somebody that does like those. Who cares? Be you. Be the wonderful you that you are, and have that feeling of confidence. And when I say confidence, everybody in here, you know that feeling you have when you put on that new pair of boots? Or maybe that new dress for the TEDx talk. You know how you look good. Or what about that first time you sat behind the wheel of that car? You know you were looking cool. That's confidence. Why shouldn't we have that feeling every single day when we look in the mirror? If you know someone that lacks confidence, that hasn't found their voice yet, show up and be a mentor for them. If you're someone that lacks confidence, talk to the person sitting next to you. Find someone that will help you. I know I did. I'll never forget June the 30th, 2008 for one reason. That was the day that I really finally began to own my weird. You see, the company that I worked for was starting a Toastmasters club. And I had finally resigned myself that if something was going to change, for the positive, of course, so that I could become the person that I meant to be, I needed to take action. And so I did. Now, mind you, I was very reluctant when I signed that membership application, but I was so happy that I did. You see, the lessons and the mentoring that I received had me figuring out that I'm now this person that I'm finally meant to be. And I was able to pay that back and share it with others. See, owning your weird is that acceptance of who you are. Doesn't matter. You are a wonderful person inside and out. Let the rest of us see that. Ladies and gentlemen, I may be a woman in a field that's male-dominated. And I am so appreciative of the fact that I'm looked after and sought after for my technical knowledge, the way I communicate and build relationships. But the one thing that got me there was finally learning to speak up even when I thought no one was listening. I didn't get here by backbiting or being deceptive. Folks, that's not the way to get ahead in life. Now, mind you, on my journey with my newfound confidence, I was having a wonderful time. But there was another time in recent years where I found myself and my confidence wavering again. You see, I found myself being bullied at work by a female coworker. My confidence did waver. I found myself questioning my values. I found myself questioning my expertise. But this time, I did what any nerdy girl would do. I started to do research. What I found, though, was most disturbing. You see, there's evidence that female-to-female bullying is on the rise so much that you, as a woman, have a higher probability of being bullied in the workplace now more than ever. There's pretty much no support, and there's hardly any information, even to this day, still available on the topic. This needs to stop. For goodness sakes, we are supposed to be building each other up, not knocking one another down. And that's why I chose Own My Weird. Not just to share my story, but I would like to lift each and every one up. So ladies and gentlemen, when you leave here today, I want you again to think about yourself, the person sitting next to you, your neighbor, whoever it is. If they need help to find their voice, help them. But I also challenge each and every one of you as you leave here today to show up, own and embrace that weird and wonderful person that you are, imperfect or not. Own your weird and spread the word, because being weird is wonderful.